Here we are with another Wet Your Palate. We got a special guest, Elle Rodriguez. She is an influencer in the wine space on Instagram, The Modern Pour, if you're looking for her. How you get into influencing in wine and your journey. So
we talked about Albariño. We talked about the impact that Elle is having on social media and inspiring others.
We are actively looking for a very nice, very handsome, and very wealthy man to help Elle find love.
Yeah.
Yes.
Definitely. That's so if there's any suitors, slide into my DMs.
Slide. All right.
If you don't have any money, do not slide into my DMs.
Wait, can I just get, what's the cutoff?
59?
Okay.
Old balls roll to Tiffany's. You know, the jewelry store. So I don't.
All right, you gotta stay tuned for this. As you can see, we got a lot of good
shit. Watch all the Go With Your Palate. There's a lot of fun shit on this episode.
Yeah.
Thank you again, Elle. So I go into this this after party at an Airbnb house that somebody had rented. It was like 30 to 40 somms. There were people like passed out on the couch. We're fucking with them. We're like stacking crap on them and taking pictures. And so what started off as like a very stale entry, because everybody's like, oh no, we got a winemaker here. And then it turned out like, oh wait, I'm just like all of them. Like I like to have, a good time, whatever, we're talking, having fun. So I got inducted into their club, and to do so, you had to take a shot of Fernet out of a unicorn's butt.
Oh,
yeah.
Fernet. Oh god, like that's sense memory right there. Oh god, that like kills me.
So I got inducted. I still have the pin to prove it.
Wait, what was the unicorn's butt?
It was actually a stuffed unicorn that they put a shot glass into the butthole, fill it up, and then you take the...
So you like anal, is what you're telling me. Love that. How funny. All right, are we ready?
Hey, is that the famous vanilla latte you like to start your mornings off with? Was it that?
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, since I've been here though, I've been doing this cold brew. Of course, you guys have tried cold brew, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, well, Trader Joe's has this really great one, and then I just put it on ice.
Yes.
It's so great with their like oat creamer. I mean, chef's kiss.
That
I don't know about this one.
I've been trying to tell you about that.
There's a few like flavors.
Yeah, that's the original.
There's like the original, the vanilla cardamom, which is really good, and then like I feel like they had like some type of green red for the holidays. So good. But that's what I'm.
So Chris
right now.
Chris has the
but
luxury.
I also have wine.
Chris has the luxury of living in La Ciudad de Napa, where I live in the lowly Saint Helena. So we don't have Trader Joe's up in Saint Helena. So I don't get to experience these cultural, iconic beverages.
How do you live?
Yeah.
How do you live? How do you live life?
I mean, I literally go pick my own coffee and roast it in the morning to have coffee. That's...
Oh,
God, no one goes out to the St. Helena ghetto. Have you seen Main Street? Jeez, it's trash. So many art galleries.
So many. Wait, so your family? Wait, you really do like? Sorry, you know what? I don't really Google people.
That's good.
Yeah, keep it going.
So we'll just keep on going with this. So so my family started Camus Vineyards in 1972, and then I started Belgloss in 2001, and then shortly after that, Mayomi, which is now just
sorry.
No, it's. We sold the brand in 2015, and your sentiments are exactly the same as mine. It is undrinkable.
Wait. Joe Wagner, are you married?
I am married.
Oh, damn it.
Are you married?
No, I'm not married yet. I'm looking for. Do you have any friends or brothers that will get this Camus money?
Dude, she cuts to the chase.
I know. So that's
like,
what LA gets you there. So you're of Mexican descent?
Yes.
100%.
I like to say American with Mexican descent, right? Because I'm like third generation.
Yeah.
So Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, I know we're gonna get into it a little bit here, because I love that the multi-generational component of the Mexican descent community out there is really like, I would say they're a big part of the future of wine.
I mean, I hope so, right?
Well, no, I mean, I see it here. I see it everywhere I go. I lived in Mexico for a while and in Hermosillo, so kind of in the desert. Um, and once you like see that the people that are going out to the finer dining restaurants in that area, they all have wine on their table, and so it's like it's almost like there's just needs to be this eye opening moment for the community, of that heritage, of just any really Spanish heritage, and it's like in their blood, it's in the taste buds, and they love it, and it's like I just like all the guys that I've worked with, it's great to see how they transition from Modelo over to beer, and they may start with champagne. That's a big part of it. All the guys love champagne. That's
really,
yeah.
Oh yeah, dude.
I really love that. I'd love to hear this.
And yeah, I can get into some other details, but first we gotta do the intro. Even though we did a soft open,
cold open,
whatever you.
I mean, it was kind of hard. I mean,
okay,
it came in hard, dude. Like
open.
Art's giving us the nod. Like we came in like hard and ready.
That was a hard
Thanks to
and
Elle.
hot opening. Yeah. Okay, so cold open. So we have a special guest today. We've got Elle Rodriguez, and she is
the modern poor.
the modern pour on
The one and
Instagram.
only.
You've amassed a nice following. You're out spreading the joy and the love of wine, and you're having fun doing it. So welcome to the podcast. Go With Your Palate. You got Joe Wagner here and Chris Fat Mario Rubio.
Oh my gosh, thank you for having me, guys. How fun. How fun is this going to be?
I think it's going to be a lot of fun. Hey, I want you to know that everything can be on the table during this podcast. So,
Oh my!
Yeah,
I think it's already been on the table.
I think I would love to hear, just like, how do we start off with your journey? I mean, we talked a little bit about kind of how what I do in the industry and how much I love Somms and everything, but I would love to hear how you got into wine in the first place.
Can we first? What's everybody drinking?
Oh, okay. You want? Why don't you start? You tell us what you got first, Hal.
Okay, so I've got something special today. Well, kind of. It's actually a tribute. It's Dolly Parton's wine because her partner, her husband, recently passed away. And it's the new Dolly wine. It just came out. I want to say February 14th was her Pinot Noir for Valentine's Day. I don't know how long her Chardonnay has been out for. This is my friends from Calhoun and Company. And I've been working with them for a really long time, and they always turn me on to really great stuff. And this is the Dolly wine. This is the Chardonnay, and coincidentally, I used to hate Chardonnay, but my taste buds have changed. I don't know if that's with age. We'll talk about that in a little bit, but I am drinking Dolly Chardonnay, and I think you can pick this up for maybe $15. So it's a cute little porch pounder.
I'll have to find that. I actually saw on your Instagram that you were talking about that a little while ago. I have not tried it. I've not seen it yet, and I did not know that it was associated with Dolly Parton actually until recently.
But it's actually a family. They make it out of California. It's called Parton Family Cellars. So,
okay,
I don't know.
What's the appellation on that shard? Is there one?
Literally says California.
California.
So we know what that means.
Yeah, I will say that Chardonnay is one of those varieties that it's successful for a reason, and that reason is that it can thrive so far beyond the normal varietals out there. So you can grow it and make wine in a hot climate or a cold climate. They're going to be different styles, but or you can blend those together, and so you can create some really great wines all across the board with it. So good call out for Dolly.
Absolutely. Who doesn't love Dolly? I mean, you gotta, right? Who doesn't love Dolly? Okay, what are you drinking?
What do you want to crack open?
She's pretty hot. I mean, for what is she, 75, 80?
Oh, yeah.
Like fine wine.
Yeah.
Love that.
I have not opened any wine yet this morning. We have a couple of things here, but right now I am enjoying a red eye coffee from the Model Bakery. And
what's a red eye?
That is a cup of coffee with 2 shots of espresso.
Uh-huh.
I like the weight. I like to feel like just regular coffee can be a little bit thin for me. So I like to have a little bit of that richness that top off of espresso gives you. So you can really feel the intensity of the coffee.
You like it thick?
I like it thick.
Do you have like put cream or anything inside of it?
Sometimes I put a little bit of like just milk or something, but that's usually just to cool it down if I want to pound it.
Wow.
Have you had trouble ordering that recently? You said that like...
Yeah, I've had some trouble ordering it. We got some baristas in this town that, I mean, again, it's St. Helena. It's the lowly ghetto of St. Helena. So I'll go in and be like, I'll do a red eye, like, what's that? I'm like, how about I'll just do a coffee with 2 shots of espresso? And they're like, oh, I don't think we can do that. I'm like, trust me. You just take 2 shots of espresso, put it in a coffee, just like you're putting it into, like, frothed milk. And this one girl, she no longer works there, but this one girl...
Because you got her fired because she couldn't do a red eye?
It was like three times in a row. And she kept going back to ask her manager, I'm like, how much fucking Xanax are you on when you wake up in the morning? You got like, you can't even remember that we had this conversation 1 day ago.
How funny.
And then she said, I don't know if we could do that. I'm gonna have to ask my manager. Like, it's just...
Aw, you got her fired, Joe.
I didn't even make a complaint, but based upon how she interacted with humans, I would imagine that her boss is just
yeah.
this ain't working.
Hey,
she did it to
barista's not for
herself.
everybody, dude.
Yeah, you know, it's she might just be better off like working in a warehouse, like just checking off like boxes. Safety,
Give her a job.
a safety checker. Safety checker. Is everybody wearing their safety vest today? Check.
Oh, funny.
I don't
Okay,
know. I don't know
Chris.
if I'm in charge of safety, but...
Well,
What are you
yeah. So
drinking, Chris?
okay,
What's
so
Chris drinking?
oh yeah, what are you drinking?
So, I've been known to have multiple drinks. So, I got my Nespresso.
Yeah.
This is gonna be vanilla, kind of basic. I'm not really
Okay.
impressed by it. Wish I didn't have to say that. But my next
Yeah.
is beef bone broth.
Oh,
You know
you're
what I'm
on the
talking
bone
about?
broth
Yeah.
train.
And it's the fridge
Okay.
stuff, you know? The real deal.
Got
It
ya.
starts out like Jell-O.
Yeah.
And then I just have my
Water. Your H2O.
What do
no
you,
vodka.
Are you,
Dude, what? I'm not.
do you do flavor
Why
vodka?
don't
Or,
they
is
judge me, dude? I'm not like.
or are you like a traditionalist? You're like straight up Tito's. What is it?
No, I just like straight up Tito's.
Yeah. You got your Dolly in hand. What was your starting? How did you even get into wine?
Oh gosh.
You didn't have like a bad experience in high school, I presume.
No, I didn't come from a wine family.
Okay.
Actually, I came from a beer and tequila family.
Nice.
And so, actually, I was living in Los Angeles because I've always spent my time in Dallas and Los Angeles, and that's how I grew up. So, I did a little time in New York. Well, I digress, but
Were you
we'll talk
were you
about
in
that.
Rikers Island or which? Which?
Every time I say that, people were like, "What?" I'm like, "No, I lived in Manhattan. I lived in Manhattan for a few years.
Oh,
Not
nice.
my vibe." But I had a cousin that was a social media manager, and I was like going off on some existential crisis that what am I going to do with my life? All of this, and she was like, "What do you want to do?" And I was like, "I don't know. I just like want to like eat and drink and travel." And for the rest of my life, and she's like, "You could totally do that." And I was like, "Well, how?" She was like, "I don't know, go to wine school." Just like off the top of her head. And I was like, "What's wine school?" And I researched it, and then that's how I got my WSET 1. Well, so when I get to class the first day, it's kind of like a long day of class. Well, what I discovered there was, number one, I was California casual in my outfit and style. And number two, I was like 20 minutes late, right? Because I'm always a little late to things. But I just didn't understand the concept of what I was walking into, in my defense. But when I got there, everybody was like in suit and ties. Like they were very serious about it and very like, and rigid and like, when I walked in, leather jacket, torn up jeans, like the record stopped, like it scratched, and I was like, oh gosh. Well, what I noticed about this whole situation was, number one, I think I was one of maybe 3 women, and it was all men. And number two, I was definitely the only person of color, Latino wise, there was one black girl, one Asian girl, and me. And that was it. And they were all dudes.
How many dudes? Like roughly? You talking like 100?
I would say maybe like 28.
Okay.
29.
Still,
so
crazy ratio. Crazy.
Yeah. And so I was like, oh, wow, I'm onto something. So I kind of documented everything from that day, or from what I could take. And my social media manager cousin helped me out. And, well, hold up, let me back up a little bit. Sorry. So the people, like the Latinos that were there, they were passing glasses. And they were like not drinking the wine. They were, assisting and working at this like situation. So I definitely was like, okay, not a lot of women are here, and not a lot of Latinos are here. So I was on to something. Hence why I started documenting everything. And then I took the information back to passed, by the way, got my WSET 1. And then took it back to my cousin. She helped me kind of start the modern pour that day.
Wow.
And that's kind of what happened. And I kind of went on the journey of taking, the first 2 WSETs, and then started, drinking the wines that I could afford. So I was living in LA, like Hollywood at the time. So I made friends with the wine buyer at Trader Joe's, and I still didn't really know, what I was doing, or, and he was like, I still don't really know what I'm doing, but whatever. But he was like, what are you looking for? And I was like, a white, a red, and a pink. And he was like, well, okay, from where? And I was like, I don't know. And so he kind of helped me, and I started learning, definitely by drinking things, but also like, that's how I figured out that my favorite rosé was like from France. I do love a California rosé as well, but and how the best Sauvignon Blanc is New Zealand, and like how the best Pinot Noirs are from Oregon. And I would just buy these really cheap wines from, made in Italy, made in all of these other places that were under $10. And then I would just start reviewing them. But I did it in a way where when I got onto social media in 2018, it was like all fashion girls, right?
Yeah.
And there were just a handful of wine girls, but they were out in the vineyards. I was nowhere close to a vineyard. So I had to do it in my way, where wine was the subject, but Los Angeles was the background. So I would go to the coolest murals that people were making, like art-wise, and like really cool places, historical places, and I would just, like fashion girls, show off my wine. And I just would take photographs with wine and, showcase the wine, and then kind of the background was Los Angeles. And then I just started getting noticed, and because I was doing something completely, nobody was doing what I was doing.
Yeah.
And so, now everybody's doing what I'm doing, but whatever.
We need more people like you doing stuff like this, and I love the story of how, before I get into the story, did that moment of clarity where it was like, I want to eat, drink, and travel. Have you been able to achieve that goal with the lifestyle you've created through social media?
Absolutely.
Good. Then scream it from the hilltops.
I manifested that. I have manifested my entire life that by just like saying things. Just by me saying that, I didn't know how much I was gonna do. You know what I mean? And that's really cool.
Yeah. That's all.
Because this is a glass. Let's be realistic, right? This is just like a beverage. Just a beverage. And like this beverage though is like changed my life completely. And if I had never was crying on the phone, or bitching about whatever, and then my cousin telling me to go to wine school, and me kind of figuring that out. Like who knows, right? Like it wouldn't have been as enhanced and as it has been.
Well, that is awesome to hear, because I think that wine is always a journey, and it does open up your eyes and abilities to travel and explore more and enjoy good food. I mean, those three are so interconnected. So I love that was just your goal in life, was to travel, eat good food, and drink.
Yeah.
Because these three are so interconnected. You end up going to beautiful places, beautiful cultures, great food, great wine, and like you can go to Spain, Italy, wherever, and they all have that in common. And so I wish that more people recognize that, and I also wish that we saw more females getting into wine. Your kind of like 3-30 ratio going into your WSET. That's crazy to me, because number one, women are known to have a much more high
better
functioning,
palate.
more high functioning olfactory, right? So you're going to be better at analyzing a product that you're smelling and tasting than a man would on average. And
absolutely.
So,
well, I mean, duh, we're better at everything.
Come on now, Elle. There's a couple things I'm sure we could list
Stop
off.
bragging. All right, we'll get there.
We're only needed for procreation. Otherwise, get out of the fucking way.
Get out of here. Literally.
I mean, that sounds cool. As long as we got something to do.
Chris is like, I'll take it.
Yeah. All right, we'll do it. Purpose.
I could just sit here with a glass of wine all day long and procreate. Okay.
Yeah.
Bring home the bacon, baby.
That sounds like a life, right? Jeez.
Yeah.
We'll probably be hopping around as it is, but you just brought up, I mean, we've been emphasizing the travel that, was a goal of yours and that you've succeeded in doing. I just wanted to maybe hear like some of the great places you've been to and any kind of stories that stuck out.
God, I'm going to brag. I'm going to brag.
No, we like it.
Well, can I tell you what my very first press trip was? It was in California, but it was in Lodi.
Okay.
And I had never heard of Lodi, right? Like Lodi is just kind of like a street off the free, or like, like a couple of exits off the freeway. And you don't really think much of it. That was one of the best trips I had ever been on, because I met some of the coolest people. I drank really great wine there. The Metlers make really great wine, and they invited me into their home. Miss Metler made lunch for me. I got to sit on their cute little estate, their vineyard. They have a cute lake. Well, it's probably a pond, but I mean, it's huge. And we just shot the shit, and we didn't talk about Mr. Metler's very, very old in age, and so he has no idea what wine influencing is. He had no idea who I was, but he was so kind to me and just taught me a lot about wine. Like we drank, he was like, try this Chardonnay, and at that time I was like, no, I don't drink Chardonnay. I'm not interested. He was like, well, why? And I said, it's too buttery, it's too oaky. And he was like, not mine. And I was like, well, what makes yours different? And here I am, a sassy little gal, and talking to this older gentleman that's been in the wine business 60 years, and I'm just like, no thanks. And he really explained it to me though, and so to have people like that really make you open your eyes to trying something new, that's one of the takeaways from that trip I'll always remember. And I just, anytime I see Lodi wine, I always buy it, because Lodi is so undervalued. That's a great little wine region. But besides them, I've been to Spain. I got to go, and and I went to Portugal too. And I remember when I had another example, somebody was like, oh, here's some port. And I was like, no, I don't like port. I'm good. And they were like, no. This is port from Portugal. You're here, you have to drink the port. It tastes completely different. It's amazing there. So if you're ever in Portugal, drink port, because it's on another level. And of course someone else was teaching me, well, it's this, and this is why this is, and how the story of port even going to, it was supposed to go somewhere else, and then they had to make the different trade to
they had to
else.
They had to fortify it and then send it down the Douro River until it got to Porto, and then they shipped it off to England. And the reason they added alcohol was to stabilize it, and it was never really bottled. It's a great story. I love those stories because we now look at it like that was intentional for a quality reason, where that was actually more intentional for just we're trying to provide alcohol to a market that's not spoiled, and then people got the palate for it. It was like the gin and tonic story is kind of the same thing, where that kind of came together through anti-malaria back in the old days, and I think it was in India, where they were using tonic water because it had what is the tree? So whatever it is, it makes your body smell a certain way that mosquitoes don't want to attack you, and so they started adding this tonic to gin for a buzz at night. No, not citronella. It was no. We'll figure it out.
But I think with port, though, I think that it was supposed to go to France, and they were like, no thanks, we don't want it. And then I think that's how it got to England, and it became it kind of popped off.
Yeah.
So I think that's the story. I could be wrong, could be opposite. But
I love what you were saying about kind of, simplifying wine. This is just an alcoholic beverage at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Yes, it does have history, provenance stories, and all that stuff that really pulls at your heartstrings and ties people into it and has more of an emotional reaction than just having a rum and coke. But that said, when it comes down to it, simplifying it for a new consumer or just somebody who's just looking to take the edge off at the end of the day, there's nothing wrong with a $10 bottle of wine.
With the screw
cap. It bugs
what I mean?
It bugs the hell out of me that these somms are no, you should only be drinking these things, and it's no, just make it fun. And I should ask you, have you been pressured to move into more of the box of professional wine connoisseur, or have you not even been approached with that? Or are you just thinking I'm going to stick to my own guns and do my thing and be myself?
I think in the beginning they really tried to mold me into some. I came very raw in their eyes, an unfinished product. They had a lot to work with, but they wanted to kind of mold me into what they wanted the wine sphere to look like. But that's where I came in and was like, no, I'm going to disrupt everything because that's not the way that I see it. And that's not how I came into the love of wine. And not to toot your family's horn or anything, but I had my first glass of 2002 Camus Special Select.
Yeah.
And that was kind of the glass that changed my mind. But that was a long time ago. And that's kind of when I remember, though, wow, I have a palate for this. But that was even before I even thought about having wine in my life. And so that's when I fell in love with wine. So that was a very long time ago. I knew for me to sell it, I just had to be myself. You know what I mean? Because everyone was trying so hard to be the wine specialist and the professional and the guru and the one that knew it all. And I was like, I don't give a fuck. I'm going to drink what I like. And if you don't like what I like, that's great. Drink what you like. And also, I haven't continued with education specifically because I feel like you don't need all these diplomas. You don't need a PhD to like wine. All you got to do is drink what you like. If you like a Mayomi, drink it.
Yeah.
If that's your vibe, drink it. If you like a Chateau Neuf de Pop, fucking drink it. Go for it. Whatever you like, just drink it. If that makes you feel good. That's always been my approach with everything. But there are times when something that I don't like, as in Chardonnay, for the longest time, I would not put it on my platform. I've just now started putting them on my platform, but I feel kind of every 7 years or maybe every 10 years, your taste buds change because now it doesn't taste the same like it used to. It used to be kind of yuck on my tongue and I didn't like it, but now, oh my God, I love it. I'm starting to love it a lot more.
Well, you're entering Pre-Cougar I think is what.
Cougar
You just got a little bit of you got a taste of that on the tip of your tongue, and all of a sudden,
oh my god,
your claws come out. You're like,
Dude,
ah.
I'm seeing this
I'm
like
fucking
werewolf
down.
sequence
Let's
right
go.
now.
Down. Yeah, this is gonna be like fucking. What is that movie when he turns into a wolf? Like that's what it's gonna be like one
Wolfman.
day.
Yeah.
Wolfman, yeah.
Yes, give me Chardonnay. Give me all the Chard.
That's it. But take
Go,
pride
go.
in that. That's something everybody goes through.
I think that'd be a great
Really?
reel. I think that'd be kind of
Yeah.
cool.
Me, I'm just starting my cougar years as well. Cougars can be men too.
But you're becoming a cougar?
Yeah, I
You're
drink.
becoming a cougar?
I drink a little more Chardonnay than I used to.
Okay.
I guess that's right. Yeah. I thought you were talking about also. I mean, this hair growth thing.
Oh yeah, that too.
But also, like, besides Chardonnay, though, like, I really started really loving, like, Sancerres and Chablis. Excuse me. And those are made from the Chardonnay grape, correct?
Yeah, Chablis is. Sancerre is usually like Sauvignon Blanc.
Sauvignon Blanc.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
But yeah, I love those. I love those lighter, crisper styles.
Yeah.
You know, like what they're doing there. And I think you're also seeing like California really move in that direction, kind of away from the really heavy Chardonnays of the 90s.
And I mean, seriously, what California is especially doing with like a white grape these days, Grenache Blanc. I love a Picpoul. Love Chenin Blanc. Love. I'm trying to look right now. I've got a lot of wine. Can you see, like I have a lot of wine.
Can I tell you a story about Albariño that I think you'll like?
I love Albariño. Yeah.
All right. I've always loved that variety, and it really, predominantly came from Spain, is where, in the last 20 years, that's where I would only find Albariño coming from. And then we planted some down on the Central Coast in Santa Maria Valley and started producing it. We were just selling like a little bit, couple hundred cases out of the tasting room, and it was more of a passion project. And it was like a year and a half ago, I got a call from a guy I know well, and he is a wine buyer down in like Newport Beach area, so kind of like LA, Southern California, and he goes, we were just talking. He goes, "Hey, I'm seeing like a lot of uptick," and he manages or buys for a lot of stores down there.
Yeah.
Like I'm seeing an uptick in Albariño. Like people are buying it down along the southern border, so like not necessarily LA, but really when you get down to San Diego and that area, and
like La Jolla.
yeah. And so I was like, really, what's the demographic? And this guy's in the stores, like, and we don't really look at demographics in our business. I mean, yeah, it's nice to know, but it's not like we don't try to pander to an audience or anything. But he goes, it's actually Latin women, and I was like, really? And so
oh my god, I fit the demographic.
So we started looking at the southern border, and we were able to get some data to show that like not just California, but it was really California, Arizona, and Texas was starting to see a major uptick in Albariño consumption.
Yeah.
And that was kind of the only information we could get. We couldn't get like, was it female or was it, anything like that. That was more of a boots on the ground thing where you'd have to be in the store to see it. But we ended up launching exclusively with this retailer in Albariño last year to see how it's going, and it's going good. But I'm just happy to see that people are opening their eyes to like, maybe
different varietals.
Yeah, maybe Chardonnay is not your favorite, or maybe it just doesn't sound that cool, and you want to try something different. Whatever your journey is to get you into wine, if it's like Albariño, it's got Spanish roots, it's light and bright and frisky and fun, and it's a great way to get into wine.
Well, so God, years ago I did a collaboration with Ria Spicious, and they have some of the best. Albariño. Well, I mean, that's the best Albariño. And I remember when I looked at the word Ria Spicious, I was like, "How do you say that?" And I had to like greet people and make a little speech and say like, "Thanks for coming." And for the life, oh my God, like that was the one word that, well, two of the words I just was like so like. I'm being paid to be here and to like make this speech, and I don't even know how to say this place. Like that just shows you, like, I'm telling you, the amount of things that I've been able to do in my life since I've gotten into wine is so crazy. And I know that a lot of my personality has gotten me that far, but if you are new out there and want to get into wine, I promise you, I came from the bottom, bottom, and you can get to the top, I promise. Like, I am like 100% proof of that. Seriously.
So going from beer and tequila to wine wine influencer to following your or like executing your dreams because of that path. And can I ask you about your experience in the wine education piece, besides the kind of lack of anything other than white males? So. Yeah. But just that...
I call them the pale stale male.
The pale stale male.
Pale stale
male. So so your journey through that, because I'm actually thinking about going in and getting my WSET.
Oh, well, 1 or 2 or 3? You're such a liar.
No, I actually think I might go undercover.
I think you're going to troll, dude.
No,
You don't think that people don't know what you look like?
All I have to do is shave and grow a man bun.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Actually, I'm just in it to see you with a man bun, dude.
I'm close.
We need to document this journey, by the way.
Well, no, it would be in a documentary style, absolutely. So that would be, we'd have to do like some little like button, video or cameras, that kind of stuff.
Hidden cam.
All right, I'm going in.
Because I do.
Then what are you gonna do?
Well, I've been really curious about the whole upbringing of the Somm, right? So, kind of to your earlier point where they try to guide you into this box that they've created and what the ideology of a Somm at any level should be thinking about, right? And that really narrows down the focus of the vast world of wine. And that's what I don't like about it. So how do you break that mold? How do you get the aspiring sommelier to not think that their predecessor is the holy grail? That their predecessor is just a guide, but they need to open their mind. You're one of the few that's been able to, not fall into that mold, right? I think most people fall into it thinking, this is what they taught me, this is exactly how I need to act.
Like it's colds and they get into it and they're like, yeah.
And taking shots out of unicorn butts.
Honestly, I don't think it's the class that teaches you that. I think it's the stereotype. Right? So, like, when you have these movies like Somm 2, Somm 3, all of this, and they kind of also did documentary style, and you see these fucking wine geeks geeking out, this smells like tennis balls or fresh grass or whatever. I remember watching the first one, and I actually got invited to Napa to see the third one. It just was very unsexy, right? Like, I just was like, this is fucking lame. Like, number one, I would never date a guy like that. Number two, I don't ever want to be something like that. But that's, I think that all comes down to personality.
Yeah.
But you have a lot of people that kind of come in that want to be a part of something so bad, right? So then they kind of like, they get formed and molded to be this certain way that they think is the way that all wine people are. And or that how they should be, and that's why I don't think that, but because I'm very far from that. But I think that that's all in their mindset. Like,
so it's almost like systemic, like it's part of the culture.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Like when you go to LA, and some people that just got off the train from freaking the Midwest or whatever, they think you gotta act like a certain way, like a Kardashian or this is the cool place, and I only hang out like this, and I wear this, and I gotta go to the Erewhon for this. Like, it's all shit that they have just seen, and that's not how it is, though, right?
Yeah.
Like, I don't fuck with the Kardashians. I definitely don't go to Erewhon.
Thank goodness. You haven't had the $19 strawberry?
A guy bought it for me.
I knew dudes would be doing this to impress chicks. Please tell me.
Is that
funny.
There's
that
a $19 strawberry. It's ridiculous.
Is that a
you
I
flex?
can
haven't
look it
had
up
the
too.
strawberry, but I have the Haley Bieber smoothie.
Is that a flex?
I think that is so stupid. No,
Yeah.
it's not
No,
a
that's what I'm
flex.
saying.
But I mean, in LA, is it like a flex to be walking around with a what's it called, ear one?
Ear one, dude. It's like it's beyond Whole Foods, dude.
It's
It's
oh my god,
it's a scene.
like
It's
the elite, like, and I really honestly think it's a social experiment. To be honest, I think
I
that
agree.
they're like seeing like $19 for a strawberry.
Wait, a
It's just
strawberry?
insane,
Like a-
Melina.
one.
One
It comes.
berry?
It comes in a
One.
like a case, right? Like just like that.
It's what? It comes like in a little like plastic. Looks like a little glass situation, but it's plastic.
They don't even use glass.
And it's like one strawberry from Japan, and
Yeah.
which is such like that's such a fucking bummer. Is that here we have all these strawberries from Mexico and all of this, right? It's Mexico and even California. On the side of the streets, they're selling freaking strawberries.
Yeah.
You get a whole bundle for $19, and Irwan is selling one for $19, but from Japan, it's supposed to be the best strawberry. I don't believe that.
Well, I was actually watching on social media, and this is why I was going to ask Art, like, where they say that strawberry comes from. But it was it was a Japanese influencer, and she was describing that she thought it was hilarious because the place that they are basically branding it with the strawberry coming from in Japan is not known for good strawberries. Like, there's better places that, like, make, like, better strawberries. Also, white strawberries are even more of a unique thing to push.
This
Yeah.
isn't like
This
hydroponic.
is even a white strawberry, and those have different
Absolutely.
taste profiles and stuff.
Yeah.
And so that's what's funny. And yeah, Ear One is a social. I think you said it right. I believe it is a social experiment because, like, when I walked
really
in, I think
do.
they just sometimes be like, I went in there one time and got like almond butter. Like, this was when I was in LA and still kind of like figuring it out, obviously, and just grabbed almond butter and like checked out, and they were like, that'll be $40. And I was like, no, I will. What? Like,
Yeah.
I was like so
What
fucking
else did I
confused.
get? Yeah.
Wow.
Like, did
I've
I
never
get
been.
it? Yeah,
I've never been
of
into
course
one of
I
these.
did.
I've never been into one of these. Is
I
this
was
a
like,
cheap-
you don't think I can afford this?
Yeah, that's the
Fuck yo! Actually, I'll give you a 50. Keep the change.
How funny.
Fucking hell.
But to your original question, though, that's what I think. That's how people that want to be sommeliers, I feel like this is exactly what it is. I think that they think they're being fed regular strawberries, thinking that it's the best fucking strawberry, and it ain't shit. Like,
Yeah, that's a great
makes
analogy.
Yeah.
All right, I might have to use that. I got to go to an air one. Air one? How do you
Air
spell
Ear
it?
One.
Ear One. I don't think really I don't think they even know. I like this because we're kind of, I think, getting close for me, like with the trolling and stuff, and these Somms kind of, as you know, Joe gets a lot of heat on social, and like, I've told you, before that.
Yeah, they're always making fun of you and your waxing
Yeah,
situation. I've seen that a few times. Like, why?
it's free press, baby. I'll take it.
Absolutely. Honey, they're fans. They're not haters. They're fans. They
Yeah.
fucking
I'll
love
say it and
you.
say it
They wish
again.
Absolutely.
So yeah, we
Free press.
and I actually think I think that dynamic actually bodes well for the industry in general, right? Because I'm able to be real, just like you are, right? And there's not a lot of us in the wine world that are just like letting our hair down and being like, this is who I am. I don't care what you think. Take me as
Right.
I am, and like it or not. But if you have disagreements, those disagreements turn into education, and
Right.
and that's where I see the opportunity with it. And at some point, I think it motivates people when they see your success online, right? Then maybe a 22-year-old young woman is going to be like, she's living her life and she's doing the stuff that like I want to do, and she did it through wine. I'm going to jump into that field too, and that's going to be part of the tide that lifts all boats.
Right.
And being real about it. I think that's the biggest thing. That's what people want now. And it took COVID for me to be real. I guess I was more polished beforehand, and now I'll just say whatever
And you're
I
like,
want.
fuck it, the world's ending.
Yeah.
Fuck it.
Let's go.
You know what we say? We say LFG.
Let's fucking go.
Yes.
Yeah.
LFG.
I was curious with this wine set thing too. So, like going back with when people are hating, I always kind of go back to this one thing where I'm like, you know, and let's just say I'm just gonna throw out a name there. Say there's someone called, I don't know, Angry Somm, and they like to talk a lot of shit.
Don't we know about him
on social media and stuff. And the thing
Such
is
a good friend of mine.
well, yeah, and what I'm always wondering, but have the like, do you think it would be important as an important part? And I don't know if it is because I haven't took a WSET or this wine educations that they have out there, but
Right.
do they incorporate going through a winemaking experience? Do they incorporate coming out with your first vintage, doing a harvest, going out there blood, sweat, and tears with a crew and do that? Just once. Just once. If you're, and I'm saying this specifically to shit talkers because I find it pretty amazing that like when it comes to the shit talking, they can run their mouths, but at the same time you could be like, did you ever make a wine?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, they have no
Right.
idea.
No idea.
You know all about, and the thing is also they know so much about other people's. They know so much about like what winemakers are doing. Like they know everything about their wine. They're definitely assuming, and projecting when they're making comments and stuff with no factual background. But it's also amazing too. You'll invite them out here and they never come, and we just want to show them a good time.
Well, yeah, like the and I even hate to mention his name, but the Angry Somm is one of my super fans, and
Same.
So-
Same. Same. Like he.
does he troll
Man.
you? Does he
Oh,
talk
really?
shit?
I blocked him a long time ago, but you know.
So we've invited him to the winery, like to come out and see what we do, and but it's like the classic American, you know, if you want to call it success story. It's like everybody's rooting for the underdog, and I remember when I first started, it was like there were so many people that were like, "Yeah, we want to help support you and bringing Pinot Noir to market and creating a new category," and there weren't a lot of people doing it. And then all of a sudden, I mean, like through the next 10 years, we started being successful, and then we had the largest brand of Pinot Noir, I think, in the world, which was Meiomi at the time. And all of a sudden, it was like, oh, they're just, you know, they're shit winemakers and whatever else. I'm like, because we scaled up and took an opportunity, like,
Right.
you don't, you know, they don't know what it's like to actually be picking the fruit, managing the vineyards, managing, you know, half-ton fermentations times 100, and every barrel being an
Absolutely.
experiment and all that stuff. And, you know, you learn through those processes, but it is really frustrating to see that there's not this, like, support in a way that extends through to the marketplace. It's like, it's almost like they try to put up a firewall to block you or to block me or to block somebody who's really trying to, you know, bring
Do
more people
something,
into
yeah.
wine.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and
Bring it together instead of like dissect it and like talk shit and like laugh at you, make fun of you, what have you. But you know that obviously, number one, that's just insecure, right? He
yeah,
can't even like, and what happened for me, like he really fucking trashed me in the beginning. And listen, like I told you, I didn't even know how to say Riaspicious, and I think I had spelled rosé wrong in the caption once, and it, like instead of putting the, you know, the thing
accent.
on the
The
E,
accent,
I did it the other way,
yeah.
and he fucking blew up and just like talked mad shit, and I go to the source, and I just was like, you know, I'm just getting into this, I'm getting started, whatever. And he said, then you shouldn't be talking about this. No one should be talking, you know, you shouldn't be giving wine recommendations out, la la la. Okay, cool, whatever. You do you. But one time, for a year, I let it go, and I just let him talk shit, because, like, you're just giving me views. I love that, right? Like, give me all the likes, give me all the analytics. I could give two shits. He was really making fun of me, but it was great because it was letting me get a bigger audience, right?
Yeah.
I didn't give a fuck if I knew what I was doing or not. I was still getting eyes, and I was okay with that. But it was one thing that he said that really pissed me off, and that's why I blocked him.
Is this really the end? Unbelievable. Find out next week.